The NASDAQ 100 has bounced, but has the trend really turned bullish yet? Well, if you check out the CNN Fear and Greed Index, then it did reach very low levels, extreme oversold levels actually, and that would usually indicate that stock markets would bottom out. And from a technical point of view, we traded quite aggressively higher over the last 24 hours or so, and we even managed to break this high. And we could technically push a little bit higher, but for me, the way I see it, it's a bit too early to actually have a bullish view on the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P unless you're like a very, very long-term trader and happy to hold here and happy to wait a couple of weeks or months before we properly bottom out. So what I'm looking for is actually the end of the series of lower and lower highs. So for me, I'm bearish below this level here, which is 12,565, which is also the same level that the ATFX support and resistance indicator is suggesting. Now we have a bit of a bullish push here as well. If you check out something like Bitcoin, we did also have a very nice push to the upside here. So the indicator was bearish and done that successfully throughout this whole period here, a drop from about 40,000 all the way down to 25,000. But yesterday, when the price moved up towards resistance again, the indicator said look to sell. But look, we breached these levels here. So the very short-term trend is no longer bearish. But the longer term trend does remain bearish, and the level I will look for here is 32,370. So break above that level, and then probably going to go up, and then probably down, and at that point it will probably make a lot of sense to turn bullish. But for now, the indicator is neutral, and my personal take is that we could potentially trade a little bit lower, maybe down to these levels around here, so around 27,000, say 28,000, and then we'll see what happens next. So what does this mean then for something like the Aussie dollar? So I've been doing videos about the Aussie dollar, and it's been dropping, and the Aussie dollar is actually bearish still. And let me see if I can zoom in here, use maybe like a 1 hour chart. So I would say definitely sort of bearish around this level here, around 69, and I will probably continue to be bearish as long as you trade below this high here, which is 69.53, and then for this to go down to slow, and then as you know, from my breakout system, I would see a drop all the way down towards 66, if not lower. It's the same thing with the EURUSD, which I've been talking about. I did publish a few charts on this as well. So as you might remember, we're sort of stuck in this range, and the price moved lower, and it actually turned lower from the sell zone of the support and resistance indicator. So the support and resistance indicator says that look to sell really between 104.11 and 104.66. So between these two levels, we should technically be able to move lower to reach the first TP of 103.60, and then maybe all the way down to 103. So there we have it. Stock markets are trying to bottom out. The CNN Fear and Greed Index is telling us not to be too aggressively bearish, but it's not a done deal yet. Bitcoin has probably shown the most progress in trying to bottom out. Of course, if Bitcoin continues to go higher, if stock markets go up higher, I would think it would be fair to see the dollar gains slow a bit. So there's always a risk for that. But for now, I would continue to be bearish the dollar, and I will continue to be bearish the S&P 100 and the NASDAQ 100 using those levels I just shared with you from the ATFX support and resistance indicator. Now, this indicator will be made available, I would argue, maybe before the end of the month. You can still download the old version, but the old version does not have this neat little info box, so you can just click and all the alerts. So maybe later, by the end of this month, you have that available. And you have that available if you are outside of Europe effectively. It's offered throughout all the different ATFX entities in Latin America, in Africa, Middle East, Asia, China, and so on. But unfortunately, not available directly under UK and Europe. All right, thank you so much. And don't forget to like and share this video. Thank you.